All right. I think I am live. Pretty sure. Just let this go for a second. Make sure I'm actually live. Let me know in the chat if you see me. All right. Sorry. Delayed there. Okay. So the New York Jets lose 24-31 to the division rival Miami Dolphins. And this was a tale of two halves. This was definitely a game that the Jets could have won. Let's go through the position groups. I'll kind of give you my thoughts on everything here. All right. So running game, we have Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, and Austin Walter all back this week. And you could see that the offense sort of got moving a little bit better. You're able to see these little bits of chunk plays and reasonable downs and distances when we weren't getting sacks or getting penalties on plays. So I do think it is very important for us to have these players on the field, first and foremost. Tevin Coleman winds up as our leading rusher, 8 carries, 50 yards for an average of 6.2 yards per carry. Michael Carter had 8 carries, 18 yards, and then 1 catch for 2 yards. So he's still kind of working his way back. And then Austin Walter, 2 carries, 12 yards. So that was our running performance for the day. Zach Wilson winds up finishing 13 of 23, 170 yards. He does get a rushing touchdown. He wound up having 4 rushes for 12 yards. He did get sacked 6 times. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say, oh, come on, George Fant. Could you have played, please? Man, Connor McDermott is not anything real special. After his first half, I wasn't like, I didn't think he was bad at all. I thought he did all right. And then all of a sudden, second half rolls around. They start sending a bunch of pressure off the edges. And he's just in a world of hurt, causing penalties, putting us in 1st and 20, going on to that last drive with Zach, and then just giving up sacks left and right. This guy's not a very good tackle. But that's what happens when you go down to your 3rd string, 4th string tackle. I don't even know. Is Udoka even playing right now? I'm not sure if Udoka's even on the on there for us to even look at. Wide receiver wise, look, we're still missing Corey Davis. We're still missing Elijah Moore. You got Keelan Cole dropping passes. You got Denzel Mims not providing too much. The one pass that I saw to him was too high. Other one was way not catchable. So not a real good indication on how he's possibly performing. I think he had some type of tightness in his hamstring. I think he came off the field at one point. Elijah Vera Tucker actually missed his first snap of his NFL career today. He wound up, I think he got poked in the eye, I think is what happened. He was like kind of scratching his eye on the sideline. I think he missed 2 snaps and then came back out for the next drive, because I think we had the sack from McDermott, the play that AVT wound up getting knocked out. So not exactly where you'd want to go from an offensive outing. Defensively, we had like some positive things. We got 2 interceptions. That's like way more than we had like the rest of the year. I don't think we've had double-digit interceptions in a game yet. I think we have 4 total on the year. Coming into the game, we got 2 more today, so we have 6 total. Brandon Eccles gets a pick 6, and then Ashton Davis winds up intercepting 1 as well. Ashton Davis is such a hot and cold player. He's one that's like causing fumbles, but then he's also like whiffing on tackles, and then guys go for like an extra 15, 20 yards. So probably driving me a little bit more bananas than I would like to have there. Kicker-wise, still perfect, right? Baby steps. What do we wind up finishing out? All right. One field goal, 27 yards. Rest were extra points. Was it 3 extra points? And then Braden Mann was like so. He had his career long today, which was, I believe, like 63 yards, 67 yards, something along those lines. Had a really nice down punt inside the 10-yard line. But he did have one stinker in there. I think there was one that was around 29 yards. That really wasn't nice to see. And then we get to talk defensively. Aside from the interceptions, we just had the ball run down our throats. This is a team that I think the Jets should be able to beat like any given day. This is we kind of kept Gesicki in check. I think he had 5 receptions today. But it was really those running backs. Duke Johnson, 107 yards on 22 carries, 2 touchdowns. Myles Gaskin, 10 carries, 54 yards. And then let's see, what do we have from the running backs? Duke Johnson had 1 reception for 20 yards and nothing for Gaskins. Yeah, man, it just seems like we cannot stop the run. We cannot get into favorable downs and distances where we could pin our ears back to go after the quarterback. Not that we have like a really good pass rush anyway, but when you're allowed to just run the ball for 5-6 yards at a clip, which is basically what they were averaging all day. Not good. Tua winds up finishing 16 of 27, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I hope this is how Tua continues to play. I would like him to play well enough to make sure Deshaun Watson doesn't wind up getting traded within the division. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't think Tua is a very special quarterback at all. I think he's very limited. I think if the Jets spend some money on defense this offseason and we have to go against Tua in the future, I'm not afraid of where that could go. So other than that, disappointing overall. Would have really liked to have seen a nice second half performance, because it seems like we're starting to get it right in the beginning parts of games. Like you had Michael LaFleur calling some pretty nice plays early on. The whole reverse thing with the pass to pass to Berrios that wound up going back to Zach Wilson, that wound up going to, was it Croft or Griffin? And then there was the other one, like the hook and ladder play to Crowder that went to Berrios, and Berrios ran. But then Zach Wilson winds up taking a sack on the very next play and just smashes any chance we had at points before the half. So you got to know not to take a sack in that situation. So that's irritating. But I do think there were situations that Zach Wilson showed a lot of growth. And one of those being on I want to say it was 3rd and 1, could have been a 4th and 1, but Zach Wilson got the team up to the line of scrimmage fast, saw that the Dolphins only had 12 players on the field, and snapped the ball and did a QB sneak, trying to get the free play where if he didn't get the first down, you at least had the penalty. So I thought that was really good recognition from Zach. It seemed like he did that more than once. He wound up scoring his touchdown on that same sort of style of play. He ran up to the line of scrimmage, snapped the ball real quick, and snuck up the middle. And that's something that I think Jet fans like seeing, because of how we saw it kind of taken advantage of in New England. Tom Brady always seemed to be a master at that particular type of play. So overall, disappointing in some aspects. I could take some positives away from this. Now, because of things that happened today, Jacksonville loses to Houston. Detroit winds up shocking the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. So both those teams win, and you would hope that would change our standings, but because of strength of schedule, it does not. Jacksonville is now number 1 in the first pick. Detroit is number 2 because of that tie. And then Houston is just ahead of us by 0.008 of strength of schedule. So we're going to need them to win, or we're going to have to lose to worse opponents, which, who do we got next week? We still got the Bills, the Bucks, and the Jaguars. All right, so we got 3 opportunities. This is a real interesting game for who's getting the first pick and who's getting a top 3 pick. We're trying to get Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. We want one of the edge rushers for sure at the beginning of this draft. But I'll say this. If I had the option to get the number 1 overall pick, or I could bounce Buffalo in the last week of the season from the playoffs, I'm taking the W. I don't care. I want the W. I like 4 edge rushers that are in this draft. So I'm not going to be too banged up if we don't get like the guy. Like I don't feel like there's a Chase Young. Maybe that's just me. You guys can let me know how you feel about that. V-Man drops in with a super chat. V-Man says, what do Dan Feeney and Kirsten Dunst portrayal? What do Dan Feeney and Kirsten Dunst's portrayal of Mary Jane Watson have in common? The only positives are their hair. You say otherwise, you're insane. I do love Feeney's hair. I saw a really good picture of him pre-game before this game of him and his like hair just flowing. Just all sorts of like out and about. So yeah, look, I thought Wilson looked decent. I thought getting his running backs definitely helped this offense. I think getting some wide receiver help is definitely needed as well. I'd like to go back and kind of see how many drops we wound up having because I thought that was disappointing to an extent. It's weird. Some of them get called contested drops, like Crowder had one. Very uncharacteristic drop. Hit him smack in the hands, and then he got hit from behind, and the ball got jarred loose. Like, hand didn't hit the ball or anything, but got knocked out. Keelan Cole had a bad drop on a 3rd down that could have kept the drive going. So I think there's some issues. Obviously, I think we do need some safety help. Elijah Riley got smoked by Devontae Parker. So now I guess we go back to what was our mock draft from McShay, right? Stingley and then Hamilton. I'm about Hamilton. I don't want Stingley. I still want the edge rusher. Give me edge rusher. Give me Hamilton. I'd be pretty happy with that. Overall, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, just kind of what I expected for the most part. I don't mind losing games because of our defense. Like right now, like I will next year for sure. But I think not spending a lot of assets on defense and losing that way, your offense. I mean, really, we lost this game on offense because of Connor McDermott, because of your 3rd or 4th string left tackle. Like, that's really not the worst case situation. I mean, realistically, I think most Jet fans are probably hoping for really good performances out of Zach, but also kind of getting a loss for draft position. So, I don't know. Just my thoughts, guys. I'm not going to go too long into this because I don't think there's a crazy ton to break down. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What were your big takeaways from this game? Was there anything that you really wanted to see that you didn't get to see? What do you think about the Jets possibly having an opportunity to get the number 1 overall pick or a top 3 pick because of the wins that happened this week? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.